This is Soniera Lynn, and you are now listening to the Anime Assembled podcast with your host, Indy Uchiha and John Forsaken Power.
Yo, what's going on, boys and girls, nerd mixers, A-plusers alike? It is John Forsaken Powers.
What to do?
Mr. Nerd Mix Alpha himself,
Yes, sir.
Indy Uchiha. And you know what we got for you? Episode 1 review, Dragon Ball Z Mania.
Dragon Ball Daima?
That.
I feel like I lost brain cells listening to that.
No, it's cool. I never pronounced anything correctly.
This is very true.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful episode, to say the least. Before we go into it, I do want to say R.I.P., rest in peace, Requiescat in Pace, Akira Toriyama, the creator and maker of Dragon Ball. This is one of his last series or shows that he actually had a hand in doing. But other than that, I guess let's get right into the review.
Definitely. The first thing I want to point out in this is we were wondering where it was going to fall, timeline wise. What was the purpose of this instead of having another added season of Super? Everybody wants Tournament of Power 2. They want to see what Beast, is going to look like, where all this is going, especially after Dragon Ball Superhero. But instead, we get what feels like a prequel.
See, I think that it is most definitely a prequel. It has to be set before Super, just for the fact that they're at Trunks' birthday. He's 9 years old, according to his conversation with Krillin. So it's got to be pre-Super, but post, the Majin Buu arc.
Yeah, because it deals a lot with the Demon World, Majin Buu, Babidi, and all them being defeated. New characters being introduced, a new king of the Demon World.
Supreme Demon King.
And everything that goes on with that. But interesting aspects that I plucked out, other than the beautiful this animation was just top tier.
Crispy. Absolutely crispy.
Top tier. We're talking about JJK, Attack on Titan, and enter any other elite animation that you like. This is what I wanted Dragon Ball. This animation to me is even better than the animation from the Dragon Ball movies that you got from superhero and stuff like that, because it felt like animation instead of CGI. I'm
not gonna lie, when I first started watching the episode, I felt like wait, is this like a movie? Or is this the TV series? Because a lot of the times they do an hour and a half or an hour long first episode. So I was blown away with how crispy and how, for lack of better words, theatrical it looked, appearance wise and aesthetic wise. Yeah, very, very well done.
Definitely. I hope this isn't one of them issues where it's the first episode, which clocked in, I think, around 45 minutes. I think it was somewhere around 40 to 45 minutes.
It was more than 25 for sure.
Yeah, I hope this isn't one of those situations where it's the first episode looks amazing and they blew the whole budget on the first episode, and then we just go downhill from there.
No.
I don't want that. I don't want what we get out of Naruto and Boruto, where the movie looks amazing, and then when they reanimate the episodes, the animation budget just drops.
No. We're not gonna have a 7 Deadly Sins situation here. Okay.
Please don't do that.
No.
But we start off in the Demon World.
Yes.
And we get the new Supreme King of the Demon World. So Demon World's not hell. It's a totally different universe, because
whole situation.
Yeah, their hell is something totally different. So tidbits drop. We find out that Namekians, and by the way, the English translation for this was horrible, because they kept saying Namek. They was like, it's another Namek.
Right, Namek. So I'm curious if maybe that's a different play, they're referenced differently versus the Outer World people call them Namekians, but Demon World they call them Nameks. And that could be how Namekian came to be.
Or the simulcast is just horrible, and the AI isn't really detecting what's going on.
I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. I always appreciate JC staff and Toei Animation, so benefit of the doubt.
Look, I want to read what I need to read. Don't be confusing me, but you might be right on that.
True.
We find out that all Namekians come from the Demon World because of their pointy ears. But Mr. Popo has pointy ears too, so is he a demon?
I'm curious. Maybe he also escaped alongside the original Namekians, and he escaped from the Demon World to the Outer World. It would be interesting to see more backstory for Mr. Popo, because we don't honestly get a whole lot of him throughout the whole series.
But when it comes to that, why did they escape? Why
True.
did they want to leave?
True.
What is really going on? They have their own Dragon Balls. They are protected by 3. It looks like 3 Overwatch characters.
I was going Power Rangers, but that or a Sentai Ranger something. But no, that makes sense.
Yeah. And they have their own Namekian down there, which looks like he might be the last one in the demon world who actually created the Dragon Balls like thousands of years ago, who's getting his life prolonged for some reason. The only reason he comes up to he has weird powers too, because like he was able to pull the Dragon Balls to him without searching for them and then reactivate them even though they were stunned.
And see, that was the one thing I was like, man, this is awfully convenient for the plot that this dude can just automatically like, you know, why didn't he just make another set of Dragon Balls at that point? You know, like it seems like he was just way overpowered for no reason. But I guess living for thousands of years kind of gives you that kind of status.
Or maybe it's the fact that they found out that them Dragon Balls had 3 wishes, and I think that's tied to Dende. Because Dende is the first person who has 3 wishes. It's just like the Super Dragon Balls
on actual Namek.
The Super Dragon Balls at the Tournament of Power, the ones they used that were like ginormous,
right?
Like those are able to grant any wish, like death, like they could do anything. They had no limitations to them at all. So I think it just comes on. I don't know who created them, to be honest with you. Like that's nuts.
True.
But I think it just all goes on who created him. Maybe Dende Life Force, because he's so young and so strong.
That's why it gave
Shinra
3
was
wishes.
able to have 3 wishes.
That would make sense. I think that would, especially because I feel like it's also maybe a generational thing. You know, like over the course of time, at like kind of like how evolution and everything goes. Maybe that was something that, you know, since it was passed down through generations and generations of Dragon Ball creations, of course, you know, maybe because we're at this iteration of Namekian, that's why he can also do it versus that dude's from like the OG era of making Dragon Ball. So maybe that's why they only need 3 Dragon Balls for his generation, and that's why they need 7 for Dende.
Correct.
So I'm curious to see how that's going to go, and especially with the whole adventure of, you know, obviously this is going to be going to more of the original Dragon Ball style of adventuring, you know, versus like, hey, there's a tournament, let's go beat someone up, power up, beat someone up again. You know, I'm curious to see how they're going to flesh out the world of the underworld, or the demon world.
Yeah, it's gonna be some very interesting aspects coming into this particular series. Is it 1 season, 10 episodes?
I think it's 1 season. I don't know how the episode count, but I do know that it is supposed to be a full season versus like a half season. So I believe it's going to be more than 12 episodes.
Okay, good. That Toriyama's, you know what I'm saying, last project that he actually worked on himself. So I'm interested in seeing where he wants to take the story, because he always told the story better.
True.
Than anybody who attempted, you know what I'm saying?
GG.
I think we're gonna get his telling of how GT, you know what I'm saying, should have been keeping in the lore what's going on, because GT just tried too much.
But I did appreciate the effort, just the execution was bad. Yeah. And so like I'm curious to see, because they're going back, you know, to the kid mode, and then they're going on an adventure.
First graders.
Right. So it's very similar to GT in that respect. So I'm hoping that they don't pull another GT. I'm hoping that they go more Dragon Ball.
Yeah, now is this is Japanese first graders or American first graders? Because there's a huge difference between the two.
True.
So that this is going to be interesting, because the wish that the new Supreme King made, that we're not going to have their names right on the first review. So don't worry about it. It's 2 Kais, him, and a Namekian right now.
I just remember Dr. Arinsu.
That was the
sister.
The Supreme. All right, the Supreme Kai's little brother and little sister is rocking with the Supreme King of the Demon World.
I think that dude's name was Dejenisu or something, or Dejensu.
So
weird names. We'll get them by the end of the pod.
It's easier when they name them after fruit and vegetables.
True. or short, short names. I can remember Goku. No.
But the way they set it up is, I felt like we were following the villains more than we follow our heroes. But why do we follow our heroes? We know everything that they're about. They were actually, the way that they developed the storyline so far in this first episode, I feel like they meant to over explain what was going on, because they were explaining to us every little thing. We're in the demon world. This person got defeated. How did they do this? They're too strong. They had 7 Dragon Balls. I mean, they made sure that they didn't have any misses. That the dude even said, I took notes of how many Dragon Balls and what the password was And you know what I'm saying, and how many wishes we get. We really don't need you anything for Dende other than to see if you was going to help us. Don't worry, we got this other Namekian who's going to draw him to us, reactivate the Dragon Balls. Dende was like, I'm not going to give you the password. Dude literally pulled out the memo pad.
Right.
We already got it.
See, but at the same time, granted, they did over-explain a lot of things, but I feel like another reason why they went with going through the perspective of the villains, it left a lot of questions, you know, because they were newer characters. They left a lot of they made you wanting more. So it kind of gave you that whole, now I have to watch the next episode because I need to see what happens next. What are they going to explain these? I have my memo pad of questions, like, who are these people? Why are they doing the things that they're doing? Why are they so scared of, you know, blah blah blah. Like I'm curious to see, you know, now episode 2 of like how they're going to go, because I mean, even in the little tidbit like preview next trailer, they're talking about the one dude who's behind the pillar, and I already forgot the dude's name. But so he's already popping up. But at the same time, what is he in reference to? Like, what is he supposed to be? Is he going to be on the good side, or is he a part of the villains?
I like how they explain the white and the black, white magic and black magic too. When it comes to Dragon Balls, talking about these Dragon Balls are operated on white magic. So we know in the demon world they don't use ki, they use magic.
Right.
That's basically what they call it, which actually explains Majin Buu's
abilities
and abilities. They're magical rather than ki based. That's why it seems like he never runs out of stamina, never runs out of ki,
and why he's so dang OP.
Why he's so OP. So it definitely makes sense to me, especially if you think about some of these movies and stuff like that, where these dudes weren't technically Z fighters, they might have been demons or something like that, and how they were able to spam moves. It explains a lot of how different stuff was written. It might even explain some of the villains that we run to in Super after the Tournament of Power. And why they're able to do what they do, especially with the neck who they're fighting in the next saga, which should be animated, and why he's able to do what he does.
So kind of like a prequel foreshadowing type spiel.
Yeah,
I like that
to enter in a new power set.
I like that.
That's not key based, so that you don't have to keep powering up. You know what I'm saying? Villains to catch up to. You know, it's Goku. And what if it's magical based and they technically don't have to be OP as far as physicality, but their abilities are what, you know what I'm saying, end up giving our Z fighters and all that problem.
And I'm curious how that's going to go too. And since you bring up the whole power scaling and everything, since now that they're kids, I'm sure that they're going to go back to the similarity where GT, you know, Goku couldn't use certain abilities and everything like that because he was in a younger body. So I'm curious to see if they're going to like lock away like, you know, Super Saiyan God, you know, Super Saiyan, or if they're going to.
Well, if it's pretty super, you're not gonna see none of that.
That's very true.
That goes on, but is he gonna be able to get to super? It looks like, well, from some of the things, it looks like he might be getting the Super Saiyan 2, but it looks like they spam the hell out of Super Saiyan.
Right. Yeah. So at least we could see that. I'm curious, like, if, you know, if he's even going to reference
Saiyan 3.
Yeah. Or
I hope we don't see Super Saiyan 4.
I kind of want to see it come back. I'm not gonna lie. That was one of the highlights for me in GT was Super Saiyan 4. So I'd be interested. Or if are they going to bring like more combinations with the Batara earrings again? So I'm curious to see how close are we going to GT versus how close are we going? Are we kind of, you know, it seems very similar to GT. So that's why I'm on a thin line of, is this going to be good? Is this going to be bad? Right now, very good. But
does this automatically make Gohan the most powerful being changed into a kid?
Well, he was always the most powerful.
I'm just saying,
according to Akira Toriyama, Gohan is the most powerful.
I'm curious because there were a lot of characters left off screen. Piccolo, Gohan, a lot of people. You just saw who was at the party. So I'm gonna be curious. Like the fighting, if this is what the fighting art style is gonna look like, it's gonna be amazing. It's visually beautiful. If the story goes along like how this first episode goes and actually delve into the stuff that we're talking about, it's going to be a damn good series.
True.
So
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it.
Same here.
What do you guys think?
Yes.
Get active. Put it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that noti bell so you know every time we drop new content. And man, I'm happy. It's actually anime that we are excited to review.
Yes.
No, I would not review Don.
How dare you?
Nah, I'm cool because I was off on the first episode when the scary grandma was trying to take dudes nuts. So
It's a great show. I recommend it. Don't that is going to be peak this season. Mark that down.
I don't know. It's just that it gave P Diddy vibes to me. So
okay, yeah. All right.
So definitely, you guys make sure you stay locked in. We'll be here. If I'm not here, he'll be
I'll
here.
be here
With Dragon Ball Daima reviews
Daima
weekly.
Yeah.
Y'all have